I am going to see if I can record this. Start out in Jakarta. I have not been there, not big on big cities, but it is a really convenient port to get to that part of the world. I did go to Yogyakarta several years ago, um, primarily to see Borobudur, which is the largest Buddhist temple in the world, and Prambanan, which is a Hindu temple right near there. When I did this, I flew from Bali up into Yogyakarta. And it was interesting because a little while after I left, the volcano erupted and there was no travel in this part of the world for a while. So I'm going to zip on over here. This is where you would cross into Bali on the east side there. And I've highlighted a couple places. I love Lovina, which is right here where this dot is. And outside of Lovina, where the hot springs are, that little dot is, there's hot springs, but there's also the only Buddhist temple in Bali's in that area. And from Lovina, I took a day trip to go snorkeling up at Menjangan. If you cross into Bali from Java in this area, there are places that you can stay near here. And the snorkeling was actually pretty good. It was quiet when I was there, so there was not a whole lot of people. Other places up in this country, this is coffee country, and I rented a motorbike from Lovina, went up going up here. It was really nice. I needed a jacket. It was cool. And then I went and did the motorbike ride around the top of the mountain. Up on this side of this mountain is a lovely botanical garden. And then down here on this lake is another one of those famous Bali temples in the water. Um, so I've gone to Ubud mostly, but I've also, as I said, I love Lovina. I've been there several times. And then I've been down south. I've been to Denpasar. I've been to Kuta Beach. I've not been to Nusa Penida. A lot of people go there, Limbongan. But I go to Bali. I've marked two places here. This one is called Sandat Bali. There's a family that I've known for ages. I stay with them. He's an amazing healer. And in Bali, there's like two main tourist streets, and their places are actually on this next street over here. So these two streets are where Ubud is really crowded and it's touristy. But you get on this back road, I'd recommend you think about staying at Sandat Bali. And then there's cool things to do there. Like there's a cafe. There's several of them now because it got so well known. But Orange Cafe out here in the rice fields. Because I was having trouble with my knee, I had a motorbike pick me up and take me up there and drop me off. And then I was able to walk back. And then one of the other things I've done from there is they have a kind of a downhill adventure bike ride where they go up here to the Sacred Mountain, have breakfast, and then you wind up riding back downhill through the local villages. That was pretty cool. So the other places that are well known, Ahmed, I went all the way to the end of this road. There's a place there, I can find the name for it if you're interested, but it's a place where Elizabeth Gilbert stayed when she was there writing Eat, Pray, Love. What I found as I went farther down the road, the less party and busy it was, but you did need a motorbike to get around. And then from here, if you want to head over to the Gili Islands in Lombok, Padang Bai is where the ferries leave from. And what I have done, people know of Padang Bai primarily as a ferry port, but I also know it because down here, this is White Sand Beach, which is walkable. And then on the other side is Blue Lagoon Beach. So the activity in the town is around the ferry port, but I've had those beaches pretty much to myself during the day. Now, from there, I went up into this area. That's where the islands are. There's three of them. Trawangan is the bigger one. It's known more for the party island. Gilimino is really, really quiet. Not much going on there. And I went to Gilimino and then I went to Gili Air because Gili Air has a village. Now, I haven't explored Lombok very much, but it's getting to be more popular. Now, the other place that you mentioned, oops, so wrong. I'll tell you this. To get to Sarong, I flew to Raja Ampat from Bali, and it's actually a more direct flight if you're going from Jakarta because I had to go up here to southern Sulawesi, and I flew to Makassar. I left at 5 o'clock in the evening. The flight went at 7, and then we left here at about 3 o'clock in the morning and flew to Sarong. And then once I got to Sarong, I'd take a taxi, um, get to the ferry terminal. From the ferry terminal, get over here to Wasai, and then from Wasai, I went up going to Arborek because it has a village. And then I came back from Arborek to Gam Island, where Mandarin Homestay was. And then I stayed at a dive resort. I think it's right around the corner here. We got up in the morning, and out in the back at sunrise, there were white and black umbrella cockatoos, hornbills, and bird life there. That was pretty cool. So the other thing that popped in my mind, this is the spot I loved as well. More remote, difficult to get to. This is the Togian Islands in central Sulawesi. So I marked a couple of spots here. When I went there, I flew to Manado. I went out to Bunakan Island. They have spinner dolphin out there, but it was also really good snorkeling. And then along this coast somewhere is a national park where it's possible to see tarsiers, which is the smallest and oldest primate on the planet. And then in my day, it was like only collective shared vans that would get to Gorontalo. Now they have a small airport here. And the ferry at that time was difficult to figure out because it only runs a couple times a week. But when you get to the Togian Islands, I stayed at Lestari Malinge, which is at that time one of the farthest islands out there. So this isn't a proper representation because it's not one big island. There's a collection of islands there. Okay, I think I can put this on the end. So this is a little better image. I don't know why the other one didn't show up. So these are the Togian Islands. No ATMs when I was there. There might be some other alternatives now. But I did get down to Gorontalo. I waited there for 2 days because nobody knew for sure what the ferry route was, but I'm sure that's more clear now. And then once I got in here, I wanted to go explore a couple of different islands. So when I first came in, there's a spot where the ferries always stop, which is right here in this village. And then I wound up going around the corner and staying out here on the point. And I did go to Malinge, which I stayed in a homestay on the end of the point here. It was quite a ways down there, but it was really nice and quiet and remote. And then on the way back, I stayed at the Fadila Cottages right here by the village of Bolelinga. And there's two different channels. This channel had turtles and nurse sharks. And then on this side, the current was different. So there was a lot of clownfish and other things, and I could snorkel right off the water. So I just wanted to share a couple of ideas, and certainly if I can offer any more information, let me know. I'll be traveling until December, but I can write back to you. So yeah, if I get a chance before I go, I'm going to put together an email with a couple of photos from parts of this, and I'll send those to you. So I hope this is helpful. Have an awesome adventure. Keep in touch.